All right, hello and welcome to another video in my series about the Mission Impossible movies. My name is Andrew Dunn. I am the co-host of the Media Lunch Break podcast. I have a bachelor's degree in theater and speech communications. I have a master's degree in acting, and I've been doing this thing where I'm watching the Mission Impossible movies largely for the first time and making a video about each one and what I think about it. If you didn't see the first two videos, I've already done one on Mission Impossible 1 and Mission Impossible 2, so be sure to check those out. And today we're talking about Mission Impossible 3. Definitely hit the subscribe button below if this is something you're interested in. If you want to hear more of my thoughts about the rest of these films, there's an easy way to do that. All of this is, of course, leading up to the culmination of the franchise, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, which I'm going to talk about in one of these videos, and we're going to talk about on the Media Lunch Break podcast. My co-host and I are going to dive into that whole thing after I see it, after we both watch it, and honestly, it's probably out now. We're filming it tonight, and it goes live tomorrow, and I am going to have to edit these videos, so it's probably out now if you want to see that. Anyway, enough rambling from me. Let's get into Mission Impossible 3. So the way I've done these videos in the past is I'm just going through my notes that I took while I was watching the movie on Amazon Prime. I think it's Italian. And then talking about the movie as a whole at the end after I'm finished going through all of my notes. Also, spoilers for this movie if you haven't seen it. I don't know, it's a million years old at this point. But spoilers! So, let's get started. My first note is, and she's gone. In my last video, I talked about how I assume all the women in these are just gonna come and go. And it seems like that's happened. There's a new person, and he's in love with her. And he sure was interested in the other woman in the last one. And he sure seemed interested in the other woman in the one before that. But forget them. we don't talk about them. He's in love. He's getting married. Oh, I wrote here, great opening. And I think that we're starting in the middle of the movie. He's being, like, tortured, and they've got the love of his life tied to a chair, and Philip Seymour Hoffman is counting down before he's gonna just fucking shoot this woman in the head. And then it starts over. It starts at the beginning of the movie. It doesn't even say, like, 24 hours earlier or a week earlier or anything. It's just like, here's something else. But you understand what's happening. You're seeing Tom Cruise with the same woman, and they're happy. So this must be before that, or after, but you trust the movie. It'll tell you what you need to know, and it does. I saw the actor Greg Grunberg in the party scene in the opening and immediately said to myself, is this directed by J.J. Abrams? And it is! If you don't know, J.J. Abrams loves the actor Greg Grunberg. I don't know why. I haven't looked into it other than noticing that actor is in, like, all of his movies, and this is no exception. Greg Grunberg is right there in the party. He does a fine job. And he's in a Mission Impossible movie, one of the better ones. Well, I don't want to spoil my thoughts about whether or not this is it's a good movie. It's really good. I really liked it. But let's get into my notes some more. In this series of films, the company that Ethan Hunt works for, Tom Cruise's character, sends messages in interesting ways that at the end always self-destruct, so that nobody can rewatch and know what his classified mission is. For example, in the first one, I think it was an in-flight movie, and the movie just, like, poof, turned into smoke. In the last one, it was sunglasses. He put on the sunglasses, and then after the thing was over, it said, it'll self-destruct in 5 seconds, and Tom Cruise took off the sunglasses and threw them, and they blew up like a bomb. And in this one, it's a disposable camera, one of those that you, like, clank, rant, and then you bring, when tourists bring them when they go on vacation. But anyway, it's got the thing, he looks through it, and then it says it'll self-destruct in 5 seconds, and he just holds it in his hand. And I'm like, the glasses exploded like a grenade in the last movie. Why are you gonna hold this in your hand? Thankfully, it just poofs a little bit of smoke and he's fine. My next note is, so this is when they become the Mission Impossible films. It's very clear that there is a change that occurred between the last movie and even the one before it and this. Those are different films. This is like a modern day espionage film. I did write here, there's a scene in the movie where it doesn't look like Ethan's gonna make it through to the end, and his wife is trying to give him CPR and trying to bring him back to life, and it looks like he's probably not gonna make it. And then he does, and everything's fine. But I did write here, I bet the scene where she's giving Ethan CPR is way better if you don't know there are 20 more Mission Impossible films. Because I was like, this is taking a long time, considering there are 5 more of these. But you probably didn't, if you were watching this in theaters, you were like, oh no, is he gonna make it? But I was like, come on, TikTok, guys. I got more movies to watch. I also wrote here that you might think the hero of this film is Ethan Hunt, but the real hero is love. I don't remember what I meant by that, but seems poignant. I think it's just that, they love each other so much that they fix all their problems. And let that be a lesson to all of you. Your love should be good enough to fix any problems you have in any relationship. I am not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. Do not take my advice. And I wrote here, he's just gonna have a little bomb in his head for the rest of his life? Is that gonna come up in the other films? He's got a little bomb in his head. They put a little bomb up your nose. This is something they establish in the beginning of the movie. They put a little bomb up your nose, and then they can detonate it. I don't know why it takes, like 3 minutes or some shit after they hit the detonator. I guess it's got to do some plot stuff. But then it takes a few minutes, and then it blows up in your head, and your brain explodes. So anyway, they do this to Ethan Hunt, and he's got a little bomb up his nose, and then he has his wife electrocute him so that the electrical charge, it like overworks the electrical charge or something. So the bomb can't be detonated. But there's still a bomb in his head. They take it out. I mean, they showed him, they just like shove it up your nose or whatever. I mean, you can go in there with tweezers and pull it out, but like, damn, it's got a bomb in his head. Like, is that not an issue when he goes into airports in the future movies? They're not like, hey man, you got metal in your head. Does he just have to say like, oh yeah, I've got a metal plate or something? And the last note I had about this film is it is so refreshing to see a proper MacGuffin. If you don't know what a MacGuffin is, it's a plot device that is often used in movies, especially spy movies. That's just a thing. It's a thing that the bad guy wants, and the good guy has to stop him from getting it. That's all it is. In general, that's the word for it. It's a MacGuffin. Oftentimes, a real MacGuffin, you don't know what it is. Like, they don't tell you. It's just, the bad guy's trying to get this thing and we have to stop him. That's a MacGuffin. And sometimes it's used kind of incorrectly, or people call something a MacGuffin that isn't really, because you know what it is. It's the nuclear codes, or it's a suitcase with a bomb in it or something. It's not really a MacGuffin. A MacGuffin is only a thing that, like, it isn't explained what it is. So it's very interesting to see a MacGuffin used that way. It's very hard to do it correctly in a way that is also entertaining and interesting to the audience, because if we don't know what it is, why do we give a shit? But they do this really, really well, and honestly, the movie's great. I mean, I know this is old news. Everybody knows this. Mission Impossible 3 is really good. Here's my hot take. Yeah, it's executed really well. The acting is incredible. Philip Seymour Hoffman, I mean, as always, he delivers such a subdued, subtle, and yet powerhouse performance. And it's the first movie with Simon Pegg. Not the first movie. It's the first Mission Impossible movie with Simon Pegg, and he's great in it. He's very funny. He does his Simon Pegg thing, and I'm excited to see more of him in the next movies. He's in all the trailers, so I assume he's a bigger role, and that's going to be great. And it's going to be really interesting to see how the next movie completely disregards the love story and marriage that's in this movie. We'll see what happens. Maybe she'll be in it, but I doubt it. I know that each of these movies has like a different female lead, so I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, yeah, great film. If you haven't seen it, watch it. You don't need to watch the other two. The first one's fine, but it's definitely its own like standalone thing. This movie it stands by itself. It's an incredible film. It's an important piece of cinema history, and I think anyone who wants to be in film, either as an actor or a director, a cinematographer, a writer, this is a movie you need to watch. This should be required watching for any film student. Maybe not like a film class. Like if you're just taking a class to know about good films, it might not show up there. But if you're getting a degree in film, or you want to be a filmmaker or to act in film, you got to check this one out. It's really good. It's really interesting. It flips the genre on its head and gives a very, very unique take on an otherwise overly saturated genre. We've seen these movies a million times, especially in the early thousands, the 90s, dating back to the 70s, honestly. We've seen so many of these. There was even a show, I think in the 70s, called Get Smart that was a parody about these kinds of films. And so it's so nice to see a refreshing take on an old genre. Anyway, yeah, those are my thoughts about Mission Impossible 3. Very, very good film. It's going to be very hard to top this one, I think, but never say never. Maybe I'll like some of the other ones a lot more as I get to them. If you want to hear my thoughts about the Mission Impossible films that came out after this one, please hit the subscribe button. I'm going to be releasing more of these, and we're going all the way through to the new one, Final Reckoning, which I'm going to make a video of, and we're going to talk about it on the podcast, The Media Lunch Break. In fact, that is probably already out. So feel free to go listen to that wherever you listen to podcasts. But otherwise, stick around here. I'm going to keep talking about the Mission Impossible movies. I'm going to keep watching them. And I'm going to go watch the fourth one, whichever one that is. Fallout? Which one's the fourth one? It's got a name, I think. Ghost Protocol. What's the protocol for a ghost? We got to find out what the Ghost Protocol is. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this one. Definitely check out the next one when it comes out, when I'm talking about Mission Impossible 4 Ghost Protocol. And until then, I'll see you next time.